Oh, I wish I could cut off my boobs. I'd be like, girl, you can.
Do it.
Who cares?
Gabe Dunn.
I grew up very Jewish.
Mexican president was Jewish.
Wow.
The weird girl.
I'm not an expert. Girl, I don't know.
Evangelical Christians are insane and they love Israel.
People are so stupid. They can't even name 20 African countries. And my co-host was like, name 20 African countries. And I was like, I got as close as like 11. And I was like, fuck. A lot of Jewish people went absolutely ballistic about the children that were affected by October 7th. I haven't heard a fucking peep from you people about the children in Dili. Oh.
Hello and welcome to the Mary Houlihan Show. Today I am joined by Gabe Dunn.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Of course. What's up, Gabe?
I was cleaning out my closet.
Yes.
And my ex-boyfriend came and brought me some clothes, and this was part of it, and
Okay.
this was not mine,
Oh,
but I will be keeping it.
I love that. So, Gabe, I know that you're a writer, and I've seen you on social media. It seems like would you say this is true, that you are sort of a citizen journalist, an independent journalist?
Yeah, it's interesting. I went to school for journalism, like investigative journalism. I worked for the Boston Globe in college. They had like a
Crime
program.
reporter.
Crime reporter. Yeah, they had a program where you could go to school part-time, work at the Globe part-time. And then I was a journalist for years and years. And then I don't really ever say this, but truly girls came out.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, oh, I'll just do that.
Yes.
So I had like a blog that was popular, and so I just wrote a script. Like I got screenwriting for dummies at Barnes and Noble, and then I was like, I'll crack this. And then I came out to LA, and I was like, okay, let me work in TV. And it just so happened that someone who liked my blog got me a job interview at BuzzFeed, and then it kind of just like went from there, going into entertainment, and then I started a podcast that was like about financial stuff, which was so out of the wheelhouse of my other work. And that I think brought me back to journalism. And then my dad would always say, well, like your podcasts are journalism. I think to be like, you use your degree. But then when all of this started going down, when National Guard came to LA and everything, I like just popped right back into, yeah, I guess citizen journalism.
Yeah, I feel like this is a phenomenon happening now. Like so many people are like, I have to do this. Like if no one else is going to do it, I have to do this.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what your experience has been in entertainment, but it just started to almost seem like a parody of itself.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Like I was like, it would just be like Mad Libs of like who's IP in whose production company and who's starring, and I would be like, this is truly too much.
Yeah, I started with comedy and then got into writing and acting. You know, nothing huge, maybe just playing like the weird girl on episode 3.
And they love to do that.
Yeah. And yeah, I just kind of felt like the past couple years with the genocide and ICE raids and everything, I just kind of noticed like some of my peers are talking about this and some of my peers are acting like nothing is happening.
That's bizarre.
Making me feel crazy.
Yeah.
And I feel like I have to be louder to make up for all of the people who aren't saying anything.
Yeah, it's very, it opened my eyes to a lot of people that I previously had different opinions of, who then obviously, you know, this is sort of a speed run test. And I'm like, oh no. Because I think, like I'm a trans person, and I think that there was this belief that maybe I bought into where I thought, oh, everyone cares about representation, everyone cares about, you know, making sure that we make something that shows women in a good light, that shows trans people in a good light, et cetera, et cetera. And then when it became like politics became like real and like in the backyard of people who maybe aren't in these marginalized groups. Suddenly I was like, oh, you don't care at all.
Yeah.
You were just trying to make money the whole time.
Yes, I know.
Wait a minute. Then it's
yeah.
like, fool me once, you know?
It's a tricky thing to talk about even because, like, I was talking to a friend a while back. Well, I was really popping off on social media and saying, fuck this, fuck that. And so my friend came over and was like, do you want to just talk to me instead of
Right.
posting?
Yeah.
And so I was really popping off at her. And I was saying, like, you know what? I'm sick of all this, like, bullshit, tokenizing. People don't actually care. If they cared, they would be doing this.
Yeah.
And I feel like even just saying that stuff, sometimes people are like, whoa, what are you saying? We shouldn't tokenize people. I was like, well, okay.
Well,
come on.
Then it becomes who's making money off the stories.
Yes.
I start to think back to a lot of different queer stuff that I worked on that I'm like, wait a minute, who got paid?
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, how did your friend take you popping off?
I think at first she was like, no, calm down, no. And then by the end of the conversation, she was like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I've had an interesting phenomenon where, like, I worked in entertainment for, I don't know, when did I get here? I've been here for like 13 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I did all of that. And I knew some famous people and, like, worked with different famous people and, like, you know, had all these projects and things like that. And, you know, it was like an uphill battle getting people to care or know you or anything like that. And then once I started doing all of this citizen journalism stuff, first few months, people were like, Gabe's gone nuts.
Yes.
Like, Gabe's crazy. Oh,
yes.
no. Like, Gabe's crazy now.
Yes.
Then there was like a couple months where it was like lightly like, oh, maybe he's onto something, but still nuts. And then like in the last month, all of a sudden I have like all these famous people are following me. Some of the people with like platforms are like, what can I do? What do I need to do? I'm like, I'm not your priest. Like, I can't tell you what to do. I don't know, man. Like, I don't have the money or resources you have. And also you can't just jump in and be like, wait a minute, you're not crazy now. Now tell me everything that I need to do.
Yeah.
I can't tell you what you need to do.
Well, it's what Hassan Piker says. Well, someone must have coined it before, but like being on the left is you're right too early. And there's no reward for being right too early. Everyone thinks you're being an asshole and calling them out or you're crazy.
And then they don't want to work with you because you're crazy.
Yes, yeah.
And then in the last month, all of a sudden, everyone's like, hey, Gabe. And I'm like, let me tell you something also. I'm not an expert.
Yes,
I got here 1 year ago. There are people that have been here for a long time.
Yes, yeah.
Even my friend Eric Langberg, who's a really wonderful photographer, we were talking about how they'll say, well, a strike won't work. And this is why, and this is why. And it's almost like, I can't answer that for you. I've been here for a year. You know who can answer that? Decades of books.
Yeah.
Absolutely. People who have studied this as their sole academic focus for 40 years. So talk to that person.
Yeah.
I'm not here to convince you on Instagram or like, oh, well, prison abolition won't work, X, Y, and Z. Okay, is it possible that there are people who have written extensively about this and might have answered your question?
Right.
No, it's not. I should do it on Instagram. So it's been interesting to be portrayed as an expert in something I am deeply not an expert in. But people want to know what the right thing to do is. Even with, I don't know if this came up for you, but with strike days, people would message me, strangers, like celebrities, whatever. They would be like, if I have to work on Friday, is that okay? Girl, I don't know. Why do you
I have to ask Gabe.
Yeah, why do you need me so I can give you sort of like a blessing to say like, and then if you do work and you feel bad, you can just think in your head, well, Gabe said it was fine.
Okay, back to people thinking you're crazy. Here's something that really caught my eye the other week. Meg Stalter, you know her, the comedian, she had been so moved by things going on in the world that she made a post on Instagram saying, I'm a Christian, like I grew up Christian, and the Bible says this is how you're supposed to treat people. And she was really trying to like reach across the aisle. Like, I know a lot of Republicans are Christian, and I want you guys to know. People were like, Meg, are you okay? Like, you're posting about God on Maine. So she wrote a Substack saying, I'm not having religious psychosis. I'm actually Christian. The title was something like that.
Yeah.
And that was like crazy to me that like, why can't you guys just take her at face value?
I mean, media literacy is dead, first of all. But it's interesting.
We need to lock her up. She's talking about God.
There's no world in which people might say, oh, you know what? That video wasn't directed at me.
Yeah.
It was directed at people who do believe in God. So anyway.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. But it's interesting, too, because do you think that reached people who think that all people in Hollywood are hedonistic, godless anarchists? Which we are.
Yeah, well, I think she is really funny on social media, so her comedy videos reach all kinds of people.
Yeah.
And I think I saw her like posting like DMs she was getting from people. So it was reaching people who disagree with her politically.
Yeah.
So it was productive and a good use of her platform.
I've had a lot of stress in coming from, like I grew up very Jewish, very Zionist background, summer camp, blah, 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 the whole shebang. They really laid it on thick.
Where'd you grow up?
Florida.
Okay.
And, you know, I went on Birthright. I went like deep in it. And coming out of it this year, it's been hard, or in the last few years, it's been hard because it's like coming out of Scientology, and I know people will not like that I said that, but that's what it feels like being like, oh no, like, and so, for example, I keep having to be like, don't make this video on the fly because you're gonna pop off. But it was like, okay, I see this morning the video of the 2-month-old in Dilley who's very sick, the detention center in Texas, and Juan Nicholas, and they're working on trying to get him out, right? And I have a burner where I follow a bunch of like Republican, like Zionist and like the Free Press and like whatever, just to see what they're up to, and it's truly bananas. But I know that after October 7th, when there were hostages, the people in my life who were still in the Zionist world, and I say that because Jews and Zionists are different, when there were people in the Zionist world, they knew the name of every single hostage. They prayed for every single one individually. It was like it took over their lives, right? Which, sure, people were kidnapped. Where the fuck are you right now? Like, where are you?
Yeah.
You had paintings and posters and pins, and it was all we talked about in the Jewish community for 3 years. And now there's 75,000 people in detention. There's a child. Here's a baby.
Yeah. And they're not getting
deported. Where are you guys?
They're stuck in those prisons, and they'll probably...
Where are you?
Yeah.
Like, why? Like, I remember I spoke to my mom about this way in the beginning. She's different now, but in the beginning, I was like, okay, imagine if the people that are in the detention centers were Jewish.
Yeah.
How would you feel then?
Yeah.
And it was like, oh. Like, what?
I know.
Everyone, I'm sorry, I'm going to get in trouble, but everyone, every single synagogue, like Jewish people, not all Jewish people, but a lot of Jewish people went absolutely ballistic about the children that were affected by October 7th. I haven't heard a fucking peep from you people about the children in Dilley. What the hell?
Yeah. I mean...
And if you have said something and you have been speaking up about that,
it's not about
message me. Yeah. Let me know what you've been doing. I'll amplify your voice. I'll support you. But what I've seen, not enough. I know.
Yeah, people sometimes don't see themselves in people who look different. And
Yeah, it's really even a friend of mine. Do you know Izzy Ramirez, who does LA Taco? He's like
Mm-mm.
a really, really great
I know
reporter.
LA Taco.
He's like
So he's
really,
the
really
person
great
that
reporter.
does
He's
that.
part of
Yeah.
that. And he's Mexican and Jewish, and I always forget that he's like he will just know a lot of stuff that I know, and I'm still like to this, I don't know, the last one I found out 2 months ago or whatever. I'm still always like, oh yeah, because there is intersection and cross section, and this tribalism is like not even based in reality.
Yeah. Mexican president is Jewish.
Wow. See? Put him right on the board. We love to keep
Yes.
track of who's Jewish.
Yes. So if you like the Jewish Mexican president,
Think
maybe
about that.
you could like other Mexican people.
Yeah, think about that.
Yeah, it's tricky. Part of why I talk so much about Palestine is I grew up in a very Jewish area, and pretty much every Jewish millennial and Gen Z person I know is pro-Palestine.
Yeah.
And it's like people don't understand that, the trope of like a white person with the Trump supporting parent. That is Jewish culture. In every single Jewish family, the kids are progressive and the parents are, not all of them, a lot of them are saying we have to protect Israel at any cost.
I have
blah,
such
blah, blah.
a different. I mean, my parents are like hippies, very progressive, and have always been. But they did like have a little bit of a having to change their tune on Israel a little bit. They went on that journey, short journey. They have figured it out. But it was, even for them, I mean, every other thing was like so progressive for them.
Yeah.
And like they had a bit of it's like a cute little boomer neoliberalism.
Sure.
Where they're like, my mom was like a lawyer for Hillary Clinton's campaign, and they like had a Clinton staffer like staying in my childhood bedroom for like, I wasn't there, but they like had this staffer, and my dad, during Hillary's campaign, my parents went to meet her at like some convention center, and Bill was there as well, cursed, and my dad was wearing a shirt that was like first husband or something, and like he was so excited to have a picture with Bill Clinton in his first husband shirt, like very that.
Yes, of course.
My mom, I didn't live at home at all, and my mom got like a sign that was like LGBTQ for Hillary, and she had it in the yard, and I was like, Mom, I don't live there. Like, people are gonna think I don't live there.
Mom, you're not
She's
gay.
like, it's for you. I'm like, okay, but does anybody else know that? Like,
Right. That's really funny.
so they are like, but they even had a little bit of a journey there.
Yeah. But it seems to me a lot of people, they would like to be more vocal, but their parents will have a fit. And so it's just not worth it.
I know.
And they, they're nice people. They help in other ways. But it's like, if I pop off about this on social media, yeah, I might educate some people, but
a lot of people are mad.
Yeah.
I mean, it also, right, that's when I mean, that's the sacrifice. That's like, that's the activism that, matters, I think, where there's something to sacrifice.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it is like, all of my childhood friends at home having a very different experience. There was a lot of, that like still following them, a lot of fear about Mamdani.
Yeah.
Which I was like,
yes, yeah.
Here's my big thing. NSPM 7, which is Trump's executive order that declares what falls under domestic terrorism.
Yes, yeah.
Anti-Christianity is in there.
Yes.
So if you're worried about, oh no, someone's going to come and be anti-Semitic in the government, it's there. It's already happening.
Republicans.
It's right there.
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about? Like, what? And then there's an excuse, like, well, we're not anti-Christianity, like, blah, blah. I'm like, you don't think that's going to get extrapolated into something?
Yeah.
It's like a willingness to see things one way, but not see the thing that is in your face. Like, it literally says anti-Christianity is domestic terrorism. You don't think that's going to affect you?
Right. Well, I saw So Hassan Piker was banned on Twitch for using the word Zionist because the ADL had been lobbying Twitch and saying you need to ban people who say Zionist.
Okay.
So that's new, that people have to be careful using the word Zionist on Twitch. He got banned, and so he just moved to YouTube. He did a stream on YouTube, and he said, I got banned for saying Zionist, but here are people who are not banned from Twitch. And he played clips of far-right people who are streaming on Twitch every day saying super anti-Semitic things, super Islamophobic things. And but because it's a pro-Palestine voice, we have to silence that.
I pointed this out a little bit, but it was interesting, like, there's a video, part of the fear was there was this video of Mamdani after he won, and he went to a mosque or something, a meeting of some kind, and when he got on stage to say thank you for your help and, you know, your advocacy or whatever, the people in the audience were like, Allahu Akbar, when he got on stage, which is a greeting. Yeah. And the like, everyone's going nuts on social media about that. And to me, I grew up extremely Jewish. Like, there's a thing called, like, a Geno, which is, like, Jew in name only. It's people that are like, I'm pro-Palestine, and it's like, oh, easy for you to say because you don't have any connection to the religion. That's not true of me. People have come for me in my comments about that, and I reply fully in Hebrew. And I'm like, if you're as Jewish as me, reply in Hebrew. Yeah. Like, I know everything. So, and grew up very connected to Israel and like that, you know, like, I'm not coming at this from, oh, I just went to synagogue once a year and now it's easy for me to be pro-Palestine, whatever. So I was thinking when I saw that, there was so much fear created around that. And I was like, you realize that you're closer to that than to a white person, right? Like, or you know what I mean? Like, you're closer. Because what do? We go into synagogue, we speak in a different language, we say a very close to Arabic language, we say things that perhaps a white Christian person at home would look at and be like, what are these witchcraft spells that they're doing? You know, like, we're closer to that than to these people. Yeah. And the misunderstanding of him saying Allahu Akbar and the group saying Allahu Akbar back, that misunderstanding is way more close to how we would say something in Hebrew and then it would get misinterpreted. Yeah. Like, we are way closer to that than we are to this proximity to Christian whiteness that we think we have.
Yeah. It really stinks. It really stinks because evangelical Christians are insane and they love Israel.
Well, they want us all to go there.
So that you'll die
so that
Christ
the Messiah will come.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, oh, the enemy of our enemy is our friend.
And it's like, no, they'll eat you up.
This is also, I wrote about this on my Substack too, in a post called Fuck It, We're Going to Talk About Israel. Where I was like, we're getting fooled because we're saying, oh, this candidate is good for Israel. But we're still people. We need health care. We need services. We need like streets that work. We need, you know, systems in place for FEMA, you know, like we still are humans living in the world. Yeah. So we vote someone in. It's like, oh, they're good for Israel. Okay, you don't live in Israel.
Exactly.
You live here.
Yeah.
And you still need like a livable life and country. So there's other stuff that matters. And also, I feel very okay, there's like, I had a lot of family die in the Holocaust. My grandmother was in a concentration camp for young girls, so make of that what you will. And the idea, I understand the fear. And like, but there's like, we're going on a fear of like potential, where it's like, well, potentially I could go to Israel if something bad happened. But like, you won't.
Yeah.
Sorry. Like, some people do.
Sure.
But
Florida and New York are lovely.
I know. Oh my God. I did a do you ever done the New York Times dialect quiz?
No.
It's great. It's like a quiz that it says
It says where in the country you're from.
yeah, and it's very specific.
Mhm.
Like you have to be very specific about your answers. And if you do it with friends, it causes a lot of fights because you
That's
learn
funny.
what one of your friends calls something, and you're like, "Do I even know you?" But so I did it. So my girlfriend at the time did it, and it got down to the like the county in Kentucky that she's from, and then I did it, and it was like South Florida, like Fort Lauderdale, and then like Queens, New York.
Yes, yeah.
And I was like, wow, this test, anti-Semitic.
That's so funny.
This test didn't say where I was from. It's so weird. It just said Jew. Like,
Yes,
it's so crazy.
Yeah, clocked you.
I was like, oh no. But so I think there's just this, I would like to see the danger happening in the U.S. be of utmost importance to American Jews.
Yeah.
Because that danger is happening right now around you currently.
It's so true.
And that the fear that you have is not coming from Islam. It's not coming from like anti-Semitic people in your, whatever. It's in an unorganized way.
Yeah.
It's coming from the federal government, and you're being tricked into thinking as long as they're nice to Israel, it won't affect you. Meanwhile, it's everything else will affect you.
Yeah. And if there's like some person out there who's unwell and armed and they see what Israel is doing all the time,
I know.
they're going to develop ideas. And this is why I say, hey, people in the media,
Right.
you should just voice how you feel about this, because you need to educate people like that
That's
not
the big
all
fear.
Jews, support Israel, and that there's a variety of opinions. Some people love Israel. Some people hate it. Some people are like, my grandparents live there, but I don't really like it.
I mean, it's a beautiful country. Like, it is a beautiful country. There's hills, there's the sea. You can go to like a bunch of, it's kind of like California where you can go to every climate
Yeah.
in like a 9-mile like slip. And yeah, I do worry about that. I also, wait, what was I going to say? I worry about the blowback.
Well, that's kind of like what some people say cynically, that like, well, Netanyahu and these people, they don't care if the international community starts to
Oh, I
dislike
wonder what
Jews.
other countries sort of acting like that. Probably the U.S.
Yeah. But it's like some of these people, it's in their best interest for more Jews to move to Israel and to make them feel like it's so dangerous where they live.
Exactly. So getting pushed out of this country,
Yeah.
it's not being done by the people that you're being led to believe it's being done by,
Yeah.
these boogeymen. It's being done by the people that have tricked you into thinking they're on your side.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know how to explain that we're getting fooled.
Yeah.
And even if we, like, even if there is like let's say like a state for Jews somewhere, okay, but that doesn't absolve you from the person in power's doings where we live now. Like, this is what upset me about, like, I saw a thing where it was like, well, okay, this is what I was going to say, sorry. When I first went down to the Metropolitan Detention Center in downtown Los Angeles, where they're holding, in B-17 and B-18, they're holding detainees. And I went down there, and there was all this stuff that I agreed with politically, and then there would be, like, a Palestine flag. And I was like, a little uncomfortable, but I agree with everyone here about everything else, so I'll just keep coming down. And then, of course, like, people don't know, so they'll, there was, like, a learning curve with even people that I'm close with now of saying, like, hey, you don't mean Jew, you mean Zionist. Like, oh, you don't, even, like, made up stuff, like, someone was like, every member of Congress has an Israeli passport. And I was like, okay, hold on. But it doesn't mean that I don't have my own biases against them and something that they have going on with them,
Yeah.
or I don't have my own, ideas of their disability or their ethnicity or whatever
Mhm.
it is. And so I had to let go of the fear that this was all malicious and this was all.
Yes. Yeah.
And then also, I did have to let go of, okay, well, like, why am I uncomfortable? And also, why do I think these are disconnected? Like, it really
Mhm.
took me a long time to be like, almost cringe, where I'd be like, no,
Mm.
guys, we're like fighting for stuff in the US. Like, you can't just add this on.
Mm.
Like, this
Mhm.
is too much. And I would be like, we're never going to get anything done because we're going to make salient points and then someone's going to yell Free Palestine and we're going to lose all of our, momentum. But then a year in, I'm like, uh-oh, this is all connected because we
Yeah.
allowed this to happen and then now it's
Yes.
happening here, and it's because they were able to test it other places. And so for a long time I was like, this doesn't have anything to do with anything. Like, we need to care about what's happening here. And then it was like, oh, it was actually like kind of an empathy test.
Yeah.
And I failed it in some regards.
Well, and it's awesome to admit that and to describe that journey,
Yeah.
because there's some people who, well, there's a lot of people who still, they see the Palestinian flag and they take it as like an
A
attack.
personal affront.
Yes.
I know.
Yeah.
And it's also this interesting thing where a lot of times I wear a Jewish star.
Mhm.
And it's from Tiffany's. I got it from my bat mitzvah. I looked it up. It's worth $500. It's like
Ooh.
vintage, which is made me feel so old. But I sometimes wear it, and the reason that I wear it is because I don't want this idea of being a certain way. Like, I
Mhm.
want to be like, look, I have this star. I'm religious, blah blah blah, sort of a Meg Stalter, and but I'm here with you,
Yeah.
and I do think it's all connected, and that's what disappoints me in some regard, with people that with Zionists now, is like, you can see how all this other stuff is bad. So just, why don't you think a little bit more?
Yeah.
And also the idea that it bums me out that I think there would be a lot more people at these marches and a lot more people helping in a way that like Jewish people historically have done.
Mhm. Yeah.
And in the civil rights movement, all that kind of stuff that we have a history of doing, and they're withholding it because of one aspect. And even then, I had to get. I mean, it took. I was just like,
Mhm.
I don't know what the word is. I just went through it, because I was like, okay, I trust these people on other stuff, and like I think I'm a person who doesn't get scared, maybe, in a way,
Mhm.
like going down to the detention center. I didn't know anyone, and I was there for like 3 days, just kind of milling about, not knowing anybody, trying to figure out what my place was.
Mhm.
And I would say, I would be like, hey, so do you guys need help? No. Right on. Cool, 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 cool. Tight, tight, tight. It's like, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I'm just some like white person who showed up.
Sure.
But most people, I feel like there's a contingent of person that's like, oh, well, they were mean to me, so bye.
Oh.
You know?
Yeah, but that's so stupid.
But people do
Yeah,
that. They're like,
I know.
oh, I didn't like.
I would help, but
I would
Yeah.
help, but they weren't nice to me.
yeah.
Or I'll see like, I'm on Reddit, which is bad, and it'll be like, oh, like someone was like a post that was like, here's how you help homeless people, and then people were like, well, you could, but they could stab you, and I'm like, you could stab them.
Yeah.
Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah,
It's like a potential fear, not an actual fear.
exactly. So here's my assumption, and let me know what you think about this. I think a lot of people who are Zionists still, I think, and it's like they love Israel, they maybe have relatives that live in Israel. I think they literally don't know the history of Israel. Like, they don't know what it looked like 100 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
As much as they are passionate about it, I don't think they literally know that, like, the British got it after World War One.
It's not even. I mean, yes, part of it is me following these people that I follow. It's very interesting because there is a lot of tribalism. There is a lot of protection. I love Jewish holidays. I love Jewish traditions.
Of course.
I love all that stuff.
Yeah.
I when I see people doing all of that, or when I go to synagogue, or like, you know, I wear a yarmulke at synagogue, like I do all that stuff. I love it. I recognize it. It's warm. It's from childhood. Even now, like sometimes I'll when I go to synagogue, I'll like start being like, I should really get married. Like I just start thinking about how I should get married.
Yeah.
Like in like a, you know, in a positive way.
Yes.
More so than I think about it other places. Because it feels so like warm and comforting to me. And so but I was trying to explain to someone that the empathy gap comes from, I wasn't, it's because they're like, oh, how can they not care about the genocide? And I was like, there's a weirder thing about it, which is they think if it was a genocide, I would care. But it's not.
Yes, exactly.
So I don't have to.
Yeah.
And even weirder than that, not just the propaganda, there's like a contingent that think that it's not happening, that it's like a Hollywood production.
Yeah. China.
Well,
it's China trying to make Americans fight each other.
It's they call it Pallywood. It's like they go. It's like okay, these are crisis actors because we've seen them in other places. This body is a doll. We can tell because of this.
Wow.
Like just it's like very
it's like Alex.
I was
Alex
gonna say
Jones
it's Alex Jones
level.
Yeah. It's this idea that well, if it is a real person, they were Hamas operative. But if it's not, if they weren't a Hamas operative, then it's a doll. Like it's kind of this, which has been interesting to tell people about who are not don't have a burner for this kind of thing, where it's like, yeah, it's like I'm like, no, it's weirder than what you think.
Yeah,
it's much weirder.
Yeah,
and it's also, I think, been helpful for me to notice that the Palestine stuff is not what I was led to believe because of how much they attack trans stuff too.
Yes.
So that was also kind of a big turning point, because when it became clear to me that this whole side hates trans people and lies about trans kids, I was like, huh, well, what else is not true? Because the whole thing is like, and they're mutilating children, and that's surely not happening.
Sure, yeah.
They're making regulations for a thing that is not occurring.
Yeah.
It's like, here's our new rule. No umbrellas lining the street. It's like, nobody's doing that.
Yeah.
So thanks for the rule, I guess.
Yeah. Something I see sometimes is, well, of course, we all see the people say, oh, well, try being gay in Palestine. They'll throw you off a roof. And it's just like, where are you coming up with this? There's this,
maybe.
And like
maybe, but that doesn't mean that they should die.
And that's also like not their primary concern. Even if it's homophobic there, they're worried about bombs.
It's
they're
homophobic
about
here.
Living in a tent. Exactly.
What are you talking? Like
that's what makes me crazy.
It's
when
like,
they say,
well, go to Palestine and they'll attack you for being gay. Babe, they'll attack me for being gay in
certain neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trans women die at an incredibly high rate here in the U.S.
Yes.
Do we want to talk about that? No.
It really makes me angry when people try to insist that the United States and Tel Aviv are the best places in the world to be gay and queer and trans even, and I'm like, that's not reality.
Well,
You're just using that as an attack on Palestine and Muslims.
There's a difference between having
They're literally taking rights away from trans people and trying to tell us you should be grateful to live here and not some Muslim country.
Yeah, there's a difference between having a pride parade and like being a good place for queer people.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I worked right before Trump got inaugurated. I had been trying to. There's a group called Rainbow Railroad, which would bring queer and trans refugees into the U.S. and help. Your job would be to like get 5 friends together, and then your jobs would be to help that person settle. And you would get like, sounds like you're adopting. You would adopt like
sure.
a refugee to come, and you would help them. Somebody would help them with financial documents. Somebody would help them with finding an apartment. Like, everyone had their own job. So I had just got my team together, and I had filled out the paperwork, and it's through a government. It's through something called Welcome Corps, which is like AmeriCorps. And Welcome Corps worked with Rainbow Railroad, and Welcome Corps is for anyone, and then Rainbow Railroad was for like queer and trans people. And I spoke to them, like, this was beginning of January, and they were like, yeah, like, we're probably going to be on Trump's chopping block, but we have some time. Like, we're such a small thing. Like, I can't imagine this will be his priority. He shut it down January 20th.
Yep.
And so I turned in my application, and Rainbow Railroad and Welcome Corps was shut down. Rainbow Railroad still exists and does its thing, but Welcome Corps was shut down immediately. And from there, it just, as time has gone on, it's been a year. A year ago, I was like, oh, well, let me get some trans and queer people who are in danger to the U.S. Now I'm like, I should probably get out of here.
Oh, geez.
Like, and that's a year in between that.
Yeah.
I would tell them not to come here.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, there's attacks on trans rights in so many states. I know tons of people who very rapidly transitioned in preparation for Trump, because they were like, this might be my last chance. I should get these surgeries right away.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just a bunch of bullshit to see people be like, you should be so lucky to be here.
It's like American exceptionalism.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you think the U.S. is the only safe place for these people?
Right.
These Rainbow Railroad can move you to Canada, can move you to England. They move you to other places. It's just the U.S. I think the U.S.'s Welcome Corps is what got shut down. And it's like, well, yeah, move them somewhere else. Like, they shouldn't. There's other countries that are, but we have this idea that U.S. is the only country.
Yeah.
That's because we don't travel. It's because we don't speak other languages. It's because I see the memes that are like, Princess Charlotte already speaks 3 languages, and then it's like, yes, so does Roberto at the deli.
Yes, exactly.
Is he a genius?
Right.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you speak even one other language? Show me on a map where Belize is. Like, you know what I mean? Even I was on my other podcast, and I was like, people are so stupid. They can't even name 20 African countries. And my co-host was like, name 20 African countries. And I was like, I got as close as like 11. And I was like, fuck.
Right, yeah.
I was like,
well, that's
and joke's on me.
babe.
And joke's on me.
Yeah. No, that's good. It's good to be like, hey, we're dumb too. Because no one wants to be scolded.
I'm the most... I'll change my mind in the middle of a conversation. Like, I'm the most like, oh, was that not right? Okay.
We need more of that. We need more of that in society, of people being like, oh, I was wrong. Okay, now I know.
Yeah. Maybe I don't know what, but people think, I think when, I don't know if you have this, but when you state an opinion, people think, oh, you must not be open to that. So let me have an argument with a fictional version of you that isn't open to that.
Sure, yeah.
You're like,
yes, or you say anything and people say, so you're saying...
Sure not.
Like, that's not what
sure
I said.
Aren't. Right? Well, that's the thing, right? If Meg Stalter believes in leftist ideas, she cannot be Christian.
Right, yeah.
If I'm trans, how can I be religious in any way? How can I be... there was like, I was playing gay kickball, and there was there's some party going on outside.
Yeah.
I think they're giving away cheesecake is what I heard.
Yes, I believe there is a clown class next door.
Okay, those are not the cheesecake people. The cheesecake people are like down the street, I was told.
Okay.
I was talking to my friend who drove me here, and I was telling him a very like intense story, and he goes, "Ooh, cheesecake." And I was like, he's like, sorry, they're giving out cheesecake. And I was like, I understood why you did it, but...
Sure.
And I will be going back and looking at that cheesecake.
Of course.
But, yeah, there's an idea that you won't... Like, oh, so this guy, he came up to gay kickball, and he was, like, proselytizing. And he was like, none of you believe in God. And I was like, I believe in God.
Right.
My friends were like, Gabe, no.
No.
And I was like, and he's like, oh, you don't believe. And I was like, no, hit me.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I believe in God. It's just not the God that you're currently talking about.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, and I was like, well, I'm Jewish. And he was like, oh, so you don't believe in the New Testament? And I was like, no, I don't want to read that much. And my friends were like, Gabe, you have to stop talking to this man. But he was like shocked that someone in this like gay kickball league would be like, no, I believe in God. I'll talk to you.
Yeah, God rocks.
Sure.
I was really inspired by Miss Rachel.
Yeah.
To just be like, you know what? Yeah, I do believe in God, and God
wouldn't do this.
Yeah.
Or, you know, if you are a follower, well, it's like people who don't know anything about Jesus. That like Jesus had blonde hair and blue eyes.
No way.
Jesus hated anyone who wasn't him, famously.
Jesus was mad Arab looking.
That's now I'm like the Wuthering Heights discourse.
Oh right.
Where it's like, was Heathcliff black?
I'm
reading about it. I've never read Wuthering Heights.
I've never read
I'm
it.
in the discourse. I want to know what people think. I'm not giving my opinion. I'm just like, that makes a very good point. And then it's like, I haven't read the book.
Sure, yeah. But yeah, I think it rocks to be like, yeah, I'm Jewish. I grew up in the Jewish religion, and these are my beliefs. And like,
yeah, I'll probably get in trouble, but
whatever.
How did you grow up?
Oh, interesting. Kind of culturally Catholic.
Okay.
I'm
sorry.
Well, get this. So my parents didn't really like it. They both grew up in like Irish Catholic neighborhoods in New York City.
Houlihan.
And had to go to Catholic school and, get hit with rulers and slapped on the face by people.
Nuns?
Yeah. And even teachers who weren't clergy or nuns, they were allowed to hit you back then. And so my dad says that he's an atheist. My mom says, no, he doesn't mean that.
She's like looking up at God. She's like, he doesn't mean that.
Yes,
he doesn't mean that.
But yeah, it seems like they both were like, we grew up too hardcore. Let's not do that. So we did like the sacraments, like to make our grandparents happy.
Right.
But only went to church here and there. Usually if I was like sleeping over someone's house, then I'd go to church with the family.
Yeah.
That type of thing. But my grandparents' generation, one of my grandpas, he was studying to be a priest.
Oh.
And then quit because he was like, actually, I want to do the married thing.
Oh.
I have one of my uncles. He was a priest, and he was the director of Catholic Charities in New York for years and years.
That's nice.
Yeah. So, and then I have one of my aunts. She was a nun. Two of my aunts were nuns. One of them quit to get married.
Sure.
So I always grew up thinking that, like, people in the church, by and large, are like social justice warriors, and the church
you would think, right?
They get bad press because of horrible things that did happen.
Yes.
But so much of it is charity and social justice.
Yeah.
And
Jews
like,
too.
Exactly.
A huge part of it. That's what's the disconnect for me.
And so I really think Catholics, Jews, and Muslims, they gotta join rank and get rid of these damn evangelical Christians.
Yeah, I mean, there's closer, even Catholicism is closer to Judaism and Islam because you have all your weird things and your
our
like
idols. Yeah.
I love the saints. Very into the saints. There's some very specific saints.
Yes. But that's how certain Protestants and especially evangelical Christians, they talk
like
about
Catholics. Yeah.
They think they're like witchcraft.
Yeah,
basically.
sort of gothic horror in an interesting way.
Yeah.
Do you know about Wilga Fortis?
No, what's that?
Wilga Fortis is I think a saint who is like Jesus's head, but like a sexy body, like a woman's body. So Wilga Fortis is kind of like a gender bendy saint, and I read that what happened was somebody was carving statues of Jesus, and they accidentally made them like too curvy, and like boobalicious, and then they were like, shit. Okay, well, so anyway, there's this other saint, And then they just kind of were like leaned into it.
Yeah.
And now there's Wilga Fortis, a non-binary, gender-bending
We stand.
saint. I'm Jewish. I have a little portrait of Wilga Fortis in my house.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, there's some fun ones.
Yeah, I'm half joking when I say this word. I think it's a psyop to make Catholics, Jews, Muslims feel like it's like dorky to be publicly religious or publicly say you like God.
The saints are so wild, guys. Get into the saints.
Because, like, why should fucking weirdo, homophobe lunatics get to say, we're Christians, we believe in God, you guys don't count?
Yeah. The different rabbis, the different, like, if you ever go to a Passover Seder, they do this. A lot of it is reading about what the different rabbis thought about different things. Fascinating stuff.
Yeah.
Get into that.
Yeah, for sure.
A lot of what we worry about today is the same as what was worried about back then.
Of course, yeah.
Survival, what's my purpose in life, all of that. So
people in power.
Yeah. That's the thing when people were like, well, a strike won't work. I'm like, there are strikes in the Bible, so I don't know how to help you. Like, it goes back way further than your own experience.
Yeah.
So there's like all this kind of stuff that if you look into that, there are answers for it that predate the Reddit post that I am reading.
Yes.
I will be reading the Reddit post, but
sure, yeah.
Yeah, there's all this stuff that could give you even the idea that people were trans. It's like, well, there's Wilga Fortis.
Yeah. Well, how do we get more trans representation?
I don't know. I think we need less representation.
Really?
Yeah, I've turned the corner. No, I've really turned the corner where I'm like, I think we got too visible, and there was like, I make this joke where I'm like, at this point, my pronouns are leave/me/alone. Like, don't worry about it.
Sure.
You don't need to regulate our care because it's made up. It's like, oh, puberty blockers. Yeah, puberty blockers were used by people long before us. Yes. It's like when they found out about trans people and they were like, we gotta block all this stuff that isn't even just used for trans people.
Exactly.
So I'm like, part of it is like, it's the thing of like, oh, there weren't any trans people before Chaz Bono. Okay, and there were, but it's also maybe good to be like, I wish we weren't so in the zeitgeist.
Okay. Well, here's my hot take.
Yeah.
You should be super in the zeitgeist, but different kinds.
Yeah.
Different political beliefs.
Yeah.
I think it's awesome for Robbie Hoffman to get on interviews and say, I don't like this they them stuff. That's honestly
Robbie
good.
has a chip, I think, on her shoulder about it. But I do like it because she's called that too often and she doesn't identify that way.
It's representative that there's lots of people out there like that.
I know a ton of she-hers that got top surgery.
Yes,
That's the thing. My aunt will go, oh, I wish I could cut off my boobs. I'll be like, girl, you can.
Do it.
Who cares? Like, you can be fully. My friend who was a woman and got top surgery, was like a queer woman, got top surgery just because she was like, that's what feels good for my body. And the nurse, she said the nurses kept being like saying him about her when in the hospital, being woke, and she was like, no.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
No.
So.
I don't know. I always think if I went super right wing, I would be the most famous trans person. Like if I was if I just went cynically super right wing, and I'm the only trans guy that's so right wing. That's a lot of money.
That would be great. Oh,
that's a lot of money. Unfortunately, if I feel stress of like lying to people, my hair will fall out.
Sure.
So I can't pull it off.
But yeah, I feel like when you talk to like boomers the boomers who aren't like, oh my God, they're so transphobic, but like, oh, this person's kind of ignorant. They always say things like, oh, they get so mad if you get the pronouns wrong, and they're always exactly. So I think
some people get mad when you don't like Bruce Springsteen. Other people don't.
Yeah. And so like I think people should see a variety of trans people because there's this stereotype that everyone is blue-haired and annoying and gonna
And
cancel
I love
you.
the blue-haired annoying people. Shout out to
Yes.
you. There's honestly, when I'm driving across the country and
Uh-huh.
I'm going through small towns and I see the one blue-haired trans person in the coffee shop, you make me feel safe.
Yes.
Thank you for your
Mhm.
service. But yeah, it's different. It's different, like, perspectives. I don't want to talk about other trans people because I think I have I came out later.
Mhm.
I came out at like 33,
Mhm.
and I never felt that was what was hard for my mom to understand, was that I never felt particularly, oh no, I'm in the wrong body. Like, I
Mhm.
felt there was a mismatch, and there were things that I wanted, or behaviors that I had that I didn't think matched with who I am. But at the same time, my dead name is very fancy, and I never felt, I was like, who the hell is that?
Yeah.
And so I think, like, for me, it feels very not neutral, but it feels very, well, if you don't like something, you change it. Well, I don't understand what's so
Yeah.
crazy about that.
Yes.
Or, like, friends of mine who we've known each other since childhood, when it's like, oh, Gabe transitioned, I'm like, you also don't look how we looked at 15. I don't know why my
Mhm.
thing is a big deal.
Yeah.
Like, you don't look the same. No one looks the same.
Yeah.
I just look the same in a different way. Who cares?
Mhm.
Like, it feels very, I was talking about when people are like, do you think about, when before you transitioned? And I'm like, in the same way that you would think about, like, a romper you wore as a child. Like, it's irrelevant.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. But not everyone feels that way. That's
Sure.
just me.
Sure. Yeah.
I don't feel upset about
Mhm.
my pre-transition self. I think she had a really good time. She was fun. She was very feminine, which is different than a lot of, I think, people.
Mhm.
Which there is probably an element of, I think, like, with my fan base who was very into me as a girl, a lot of the guys, I think, were like, why did, she ruin herself?
Oh.
But it's like, I was gonna age anyway, my dudes.
Right.
Like,
Yeah. You
I
would
don't
have
know how
lost
to.
interest.
Yeah, I don't know how to explain to you that I wasn't gonna look 25 for the rest of my career, but
Mhm.
so I don't know. Everybody feels very differently
Yeah.
about it, and I think that is, to me, it's probably good not to have kid gloves about it.
Yeah. For sure.
But it's like hanging out in cis gay male spaces. They'll really just ask stuff.
Uh-huh.
And in some ways, I prefer it. And people are like, "Don't you
Yes,
get
yeah.
mad about them asking stuff?" And
But
I'm
you
like,
can tell when someone has good intentions.
or
Which
there's
is why,
even no. They're
yeah.
asking the same way they would be like, "Where'd you grow up?"
Yeah.
Like, they're like, "Oh, what was your name before?" And
Right.
I'm like,
Yeah.
"Well, you okay? You're and."
And it's like you don't need someone to be like, "Excuse me, you can't."
Mm-hmm.
It's like
Mm-hmm.
it's just asking.
Yeah, or I'll be like, "Oh, you shouldn't ask other people that."
Yes,
But and they'll be
exactly.
like, "Oh, okay." But I always say, I'm like, like, I live in West Hollywood. I go out in West Hollywood a lot, and people will be like, "Oh, are you so annoyed by how they, like, talk to you or treat you?" And I'm like, "Well, they they don't know anything about queer history, and they're largely snorting a drug made for horses. So it's hard to sort of hold them to a standard." Like, yeah, I don't think they're really.
Yes,
I should
yeah.
be holding them to the same standard as
Yes,
other
yeah.
people, and I'm happy to teach them. Sure.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. It's
One guy
a
thought
grace.
top surgery, because of, like, tops and bottoms.
Uh-huh.
He thought when I said I got top surgery that I had bottom surgery.
Okay.
Do you see how it sort of manifested?
Yes, yeah.
He was like, "Oh, you got top surgery to be a top."
Oh, I see. Okay, I see.
I was like,
see.
"No, top surgery is the top of your body, but I love this for you."
Here's a fun joke I'm stealing. My friend, she's a trans woman, and she just got bottom surgery.
Hmm.
She just got foot surgery.
That's so good.
So she's been milking that joke.
That's
yeah.
so good. That's really good. Yeah, it's just a trip, but
Yeah.
to me it ties into aging in some ways.
Yeah. So I guess like that kind of representation I think is good for people to see. Like, it's boring. It's all kinds of people.
I went to a
and-
trans guy summer camp.
Uh-huh.
Like, it was like a week and a half, like, trans guy camp, just all kinds of trans guys in the woods. It was amazing. And everyone's so different. I mean, there's
Yeah.
guys that are completely stealth. They
Mhm.
live in backwoods wherever. They drive a truck. They have a wife. They're not out to anyone in their
Whoa.
lives.
Mhm.
You would never, and
Yeah.
and they got those real attractive accents that I'm not joking. They're really hot. And like I'm from Florida. Give me that accent.
Mhm.
And and then there's people that are like
Mhm.
I'm more queer. And I go back and forth. It was really sad. As a woman, I was very colorful and
Mhm.
like very. I mean, now I look much closer to how I looked as a woman, but I had purple hair. I wore bright colors. It was a lot of ModCloth, like that kind of
Sure.
gal,
Yeah.
rockabilly adjacent.
Mhm.
And then when I transitioned, I didn't want to be misgendered, so I went so muted.
Mm.
I'd stopped dyeing my hair. My glasses were regular. My clothes became really dark and regular. And I had a friend of mine recently be like, I'm so glad that you're getting a little bit more flamboyant because it felt like you shut yourself down
Yeah.
in order to pass.
Yeah.
And I did do that because
Mhm.
I didn't want anyone I wanted people to be like, that's a guy. I didn't want anyone to. And now I'm like, I guess after 4 years or whatever, and being on T, I guess, for a while, I'm like, okay, we can go back to being a little silly
Yeah.
goose with it.
Good.
But being a little silly goose with it, some people they don't even consider that I'm trans at all. It never occurred to them.
Hmm.
And then some people mostly women, are so sure. Like
Okay.
yesterday, this
Sure.
girl was like, "Oh, she's looking for," and I was like, all the other people here are like, "Who is she talking about?"
Mm.
But to her, she was 100% certain that I was she. No hesitation. So it's kind of trippy.
Yeah.
But that's maybe because I was wearing a little more colorful stuff. I don't
Sure.
know.
Yeah.
Gender's wild.
Gender is wild.
It's all just taking cues from 3 or 4 things. Blonde hair, long nails. Okay, girl.
Right. Exactly.
Okay. You took like 3 cues.
Sure. Yeah.
Sort of a Malcolm Gladwell's Blink situation.
Sure. My gender, I don't feel dysphoric at all, but I definitely feel like long hair and nails. I'm playing dress up right now,
So, stay tuned.
So stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Like that's
Never
kind
beating
of
the egg allegation.
egg allegations. It's hard because when you're a performer,
Yes, yeah.
you have to look a certain way because you're
I
a
wanna be
performer.
perceived a kind of
Okay, I want
way.
these roles. I have
Yeah.
a friend who's probably a trans guy, but is an actress. So what are you gonna do?
Sure, yeah.
And like getting notes from the agents, like
Mhm.
you have to grow your hair out.
Yeah. And, I don't think I have the genes for facial hair. I don't think I would be a cute.
I take Rogaine.
Okay.
You can take minoxidil. There's all
Interesting.
sorts of tips and tricks.
Okay.
You're talking like how I used to talk.
It's not worth transitioning.
That's okay. Hank Green, who later came out as bisexual, for a long time, he would say, I'm not bi enough for it to matter. And then years went by,
Yeah.
pun intended, and then he was like, yeah, I'm bi. Like, there's things where I feel like every step of the way, I talked myself into being like, and that'll be the last step. And then I would say, oh, I couldn't possibly like get top surgery. I couldn't possibly try to grow a beard. I couldn't possibly. And then it's just regular.
Sure, yeah.
But it is tough. You lose the ability to. I don't audition. Like you lose the ability to do a lot of stuff.
Sure, yeah. I had a pixie cut for a long time.
Oh, cute.
And I decided that if I want to make media where I'm politically educating people, I should look a little more Fox News because
I also
people
had
might
that
pay
thought.
attention more.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
also had that thought.
Yeah.
Because I was like a very hot girl. You can look it up. And I was talking a lot about politics and about feminism, and part of the bit was looking like a bimbo.
Yes, yeah.
Was like high heels, little dresses, long and I was like part of the fun of men being angry at me on the internet was that I looked like someone they shouldn't be angry at.
Yes, yeah.
And so that was the bit. But then I spoke to women and I was like, you look like this as a bit. And other women were like, no.
Sure. Well, okay, what I would really love is to wear high heels all the time, but they're painful. I don't like them.
Yeah.
But I would just love to look like that.
Like full Fox News bimbo.
I would love that. If
Mar-a-Lago
I could,
face.
I would do that. I would wear a dress and high heels all the time if it wasn't uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's deeply uncomfortable. Being a
Yeah.
rockabilly, you should really get the Purple Heart because
Oh, yeah.
you're wearing weird little tight
Pumps? Come
dresses,
on.
pumps,
Yeah,
crazy
no
little
way.
hairdos. It's a whole, but like that's drag.
See, that's why I need long hair.
Well, what you're describing is drag.
Yes, exactly.
That's what I thought. Eventually, it came to, am I doing women? Am I doing woman as a drag?
Sure, yes. When I had my pixie cut, I always felt like Ms. Pac-Man. Like
With the little bow.
yes, I felt like I have to wear like extra makeup to like
Yes.
signify.
I have so many photos to show you. When I was dating, when I'm bisexual, when I would date a woman, I would look so feminine.
Yes.
And then if I had a boyfriend, I'd be like, literally, like shave my head
Yeah,
and like,
we're
'cause-
bros.
yeah, I wanted
Yeah.
because I wanted to look super gay with a boyfriend because I felt that was so funny.
Yes.
And then I wanted to look, and then I wanted to look like very
Like
feminine with a
tender
girlfriend to
girls.
be like, yeah, to be like, ooh, we're so like. I wanted to be like, I want to walk down the street and everyone's jealous of us. Crazy. And then, yeah, I think that's like gender performance.
Yeah, for sure.
And there's a lot of, I also think I should do drag because I have all the skills.
Mhm.
I know they're like, oh, you would be a drag king? No. I'd have to be a drag queen. I have the makeup skills, I have the hair skills,
Yes.
I have the clothing skills.
Mhm.
It's just sitting there.
Pretty cool. Well, Gabe Dunn, I think you're doing awesome stuff.
Thank you. You too.
Thanks. So yeah, keep keeping on. Be loud. Speak your truth.
Yeah, I look forward to a few years from now when you're
When
going,
I'm
when you're
fully
going by
boy.
MJ or something.
Yes. We'll see. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Turn it on!